Yeah, just walking up to the Greek Orthodox Church, the only one in Shrewsbury. And I'm just looking around. This site of the estate now was an ancient burial ground and site of significance. I'm just wondering, would I want to buy a house on this estate? Thinking of The Shining and stuff like that. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'd just think a bit about it first. Do you want to see an ancient church built on a Neolithic, Bronze Age pagan site? Well, if you do, keep watching. So welcome back to Third Rate Content. Today we're just going to be having a little look at this very interesting, ancient, historic church built here in Shrewsbury in Sutton. There's been a site here for a long time, so let's find out all about it. So buckle up and I'll see you out here. Yeah, this church was previously called St. John the Baptist, and it was dedicated to St. Milburger. This was pre-Reformation. St. Milburger from Wenlock Priory, arrival to Shrewsbury. And it is thought in her life, while she was alive, she did visit this site. Of course, St. Milburger died in the 700s, long before Shrewsbury Abbey, and the sort of rivalries they had with Wenlock over the holy relics, which St. Milburger's bones were part of. Which is why Shrewsbury Abbey got St. Winifred's holy relics, as covered in the St. Winifred's Well video, which I'll leave a link to in the comments. Yeah, the current church is from the 12th, early 13th century, built directly over an Anglo-Saxon church, much older, from the 700s. So this is the Church of the Holy Fathers, Sutton in Shrewsbury. Yeah, it now belongs to the Greek Orthodox Church, and it was bought from the Anglicans, Church of England, in 1994 for the nominal fee of £50, and it hadn't been used regularly since probably before World War II. World War One, sorry. And it had only been used once a year, basically, to keep it consecrated. I think that's the bare minimum that you can use a church, and it retain its church status. I've just been talking to one of the Greek priests here, and he was telling me this is the area. This has just been bought by the church. Hopefully they're going to turn it into car parking, because the developers of the estate didn't actually leave any parking near the church. So it's been a bit of a problem for the worshippers here. But this has now been bought, like I said, and it's hopeful that they'll turn it into the parking. But yeah, this is a probably Victorian or older wall. Got a bed here or something, obviously not in use, abandoned a bit now. So I imagine they'll make a way into it just up here. The road is just there, the newer estate. And maybe next time we visit, this will be a car park. Looks like it was a garden, a sort of orchard at some points in the past. Definitely imperial standard bricks, these are. Although they are quite shallow though. Not 100% sure. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, as ever. Yeah, so this church was used as a barn for storage back around World War One, just before. Shrewsbury was not as big as it is today, and this housing estate wasn't here, and it would have been all fields basically. So you can see Shrewsbury town centre in the background there, a couple of miles away. 2017, there was an archaeological dig just by here, and a post was uncovered, and it was carbon dated. by the archaeologists who were thinking it was going to be from the Anglo-Saxon days, and it turns out it was 4,000 years old. In fact, it was from 2033 according to the carbon dating. I don't know how they can be that accurate, but that's the third-rate research. Yeah, the post that was found just behind me was actually sticking out of medieval foundations. That's why they thought it was of that age, but it was your typical story of builders, medieval ones, incorporating what they found to be sound and making life easier for themselves and incorporating it into the foundations that they were building. Timeless story of builders. And today isn't one of the open days. We might well visit here again when they have them, because they have a couple of a year, so we'll look out for them. But coins from the 1600s, 1624 was it, 1625, were found here, and they were found in a fallen foundation, which would make it think that part of the church collapsed around the time of the Civil War. Items found during the 2017 dig included a carved Saxon stone axe, prehistoric work flint, and a Neolithic counting disc. I'd like to have seen that. Yeah, there was some unusual, I don't know how they were unusual, animal burials found here as well during the 2017 dig. The archaeologists seem to think that they were from the medieval times. Yeah, there were also digs in this area, I think more where the estate is now, in the 1960s and 70s. Although until the later dig in 2017, the significance of the site wasn't really actually established, because in the 60s and 70s, burial mounds, cremations, slots for standing stones, 2 rows of Neolithic post holes, and a ditch known as a cuirass were found. Like I said, when the 2017 dig happened, they tied it all together and they realised quite how significant this whole site was to our ancestors. You see some of the really ancient stonework there, and then the more recent, what is thought is Victorian red brick construction. But before this church was an Anglo-Saxon church, and then before that Anglo-Saxon church, and then the prehistoric structure before that. So thank you for watching to the end of today's presentation. Quite a little interesting one. Been meaning to do it for a while, and I'm glad to finally get here. If I don't see you soon, I'll see you 3 times as soon. Third-rate content, sign out.